Are you working at HubSpot and just pulling your hair out, trying to just build a very simple list? The filters, the objects, the cross joins are just causing a lot of confusion. You just don't know where to start. Well, in this video, we're going to go into the best practices and some very tangible and simple steps on exactly how to build a list directly in HubSpot to get what you're looking for. Let's dive in. Okay, first let's start by just creating a list. If you go to objects on the left-hand side, list, that'll bring you to this page. In the top right-hand corner is our list, and this goes to the first page to creating a list. I want to create a list called contact owner, let's call it Alex. We'll say the description is all contacts owned by Alex. We'll keep this as an active list. This is a marketing function. Sunset date we'll just set today. And we'll say the owner of it, let's say is Andrew. This is all the properties to start for us creating a list. One thing to note before we dive in, however, is the objects listed on the left-hand side. And so the most common objects are either a contact-based, a company-based, or a deal-based. And so if you want to pull a list of deals, you need to change this left-hand side to deals. If you want to pull a list of contacts, then you keep it on contacts. If you want a list of companies, set it to companies and so on. For this one, since we want all the contacts where Alex is the owner, let's keep it contact-based. So now we have the starting point of our list. Currently, there's no contacts pulling into this list because we haven't added any filters yet. So let's start by adding filters. To do so, go to the left-hand side and click Add Filter. And so the next piece or question is going to be, what are we going to filter on? The contact object itself, or are we going to filter on other objects associated to the contact? For this video, we're not going to get into advanced cross-object filtering, and so we're just only going to filter on the contact object itself. Let's click into the contact properties. And so this means any contact or any property on the contact itself, we're going to be able to create filters specifically for that. You can see all the different properties that we can filter on and that we can start to segment down our list by. Given this one, we want to filter on contact owner equals Alex. Let's find contact owner and see if we have that property. We do. Perfect. So if we select contact owner and say, is any of Alex, select, then this is now going to generate a list of all contacts that Alex is the owner. And so you can see that there's 119 contacts here. I'll also bring to your attention all the other different types of filters that exist within list. You can have any of, you can have none of, which is the opposite of what we're currently showing. So this is going to pull all contacts that are not Alex. One thing to note, however, is it's not including null records. And so this is where a lot of people get hung up. If you see, let's see, last activity date is a good example here. If last activity date is null, meaning there's nothing in this property, then when you filter on none of, then it's not going to show up unless you check this box here. Let's add another filter. Let's say, so we're going to stay on the contact property. And we're going to say last activity date. And so now you can see that the date properties have different types of filters. And so we have equal to, before, after, between, is known, is unknown. Null properties is similar to is known or is unknown. In this example, let's find all contacts where we know their last activity date. You're going to see for all of Alex's contacts, there is a last activity date. And so you can see that here. And so that is a good example of null versus non-null properties. Now let's talk about groupings. So over on the left-hand side, you can see that we have group 1 or group 2. And this is the concept of and or. And so if you want all contacts that the contact owner is Alex and last activity date is known, then you should keep them in the same group. However, you can also create other groups where I want to know all contacts that Alex is the owner and the last activity date is unknown. So we just created a second group, and we have exactly the same properties in both groups, so therefore it's showing us the same contacts. However, what if I wanted to say, all right, let's find Sam. And so I now have two groups where the contact owner is Alex or the contact owner is Sam. And now it'll show me all of the contacts that are associated where the contact owner is either Sam or the contact owner is Alex, and they all have an activity date that is known. And so this is the general best practices when it comes to building a list, is understanding, one, the filters that you can filter on. Two, understanding the properties that you can filter down on. And number three, understanding the groupings so that you can create and/or statements.